The Galactic Council chamber hummed with the low murmur of 100 alien species, each representative seated in their designated pods that floated in concentric circles around the central arena. Mia stood at the edge of the platform, her human frame appearing almost comically small compared to the towering Crithians, the armored Vexthor, and the crystalline luminary that surrounded her. "Another human," hissed Commander Zarkoth, his reptilian features twisting into what could only be described as contempt. The Crithian war chief was a mountain of scaled muscle, standing nearly 3 meters tall, with claws that could rend steel and a reputation for crushing opponents in the gladiatorial disputes that sometimes settled council debates. "They send us these soft, fleshy creatures and expect us to take them seriously." Mia's expression remained neutral, though her eyes tracked every movement the commander made. She had been sent to the council as Earth's military attaché, a position that many of the elder species considered a joke. Humans were newcomers to the galactic stage, having achieved faster-than-light travel only 50 years prior. In a council where some civilizations had existed for millennia, humanity was barely a footnote. "The human speaks of military cooperation," Zarkoth continued, his voice booming across the chamber. "But what can such a weak species offer? You have no natural armor, no claws, no venom. You are slow, fragile, and your lifespans are laughably brief. You are prey pretending to be predators." Max watched from the human observation pod, his jaw clenched. As Mia's diplomatic partner and fellow officer, he had endured these insults for months. But today felt different. Today Zarkoth had made a critical error in judgment, one that Max suspected the commander would soon regret. Mia wasn't just any human officer. She was a product of Earth's most extreme evolution, a species that had clawed its way to the top of a death world's food chain through sheer, stubborn resilience. "Commander Zarkoth," Mia's voice cut through the chamber, calm and clear. "You believe humans are weak because we lack your physical advantages. Would you care to test that hypothesis?" The chamber fell silent. Challenging a Crithian warrior was considered suicide by most species. Their strength was legendary, their combat prowess unmatched in personal combat across dozens of worlds. Zarkoth's laugh was a rumbling growl. "You wish to fight me, little human? I could tear you apart with one hand." "Then it should be a quick demonstration," Mia replied, stepping fully onto the central platform. "No weapons, no armor, just physiology." Max leaned forward, a slight smile crossing his face. He had sparred with Mia during their academy days. He knew what was coming, and he almost felt sorry for the commander. Almost. The council's arbiter, a floating mass of energy and ancient wisdom, considered the challenge. "This is highly irregular. Commander Zarkoth, you are not obligated to accept." "I accept," Zarkoth snarled, his pride wounded by the mere suggestion that he might decline. "I will teach this human the price of arrogance." The two combatants faced each other on the platform. Zarkoth loomed over Mia, his shadow engulfing her entirely. His claws extended, each one gleaming like polished obsidian. Around the chamber, species began placing bets, most favoring the commander's victory in under 10 seconds. "Begin," the arbiter intoned. Zarkoth moved with surprising speed for his size, his massive arm sweeping toward Mia in a strike that would have decapitated most beings. But Mia wasn't there. She had dropped low, her human flexibility allowing her to duck beneath the blow with inches to spare. As she moved, she was already countering. What happened next would be analyzed by xenobiologists for years to come. Mia's fist drove upward into Zarkoth's solar plexus, with the full force of her body behind it. The impact created a visible shockwave that rippled through the commander's scales. But it wasn't the strength of the blow that devastated Zarkoth. It was the biology behind it. Humans, the galaxy was about to learn, had evolved on a world with gravity nearly twice that of standard galactic average. Their muscles, compressed and strengthened by constant exposure to crushing gravitational forces, generated power far beyond what their size suggested. But more than that, humans possessed something most species had evolved away from: adrenaline. The moment Mia had stepped onto the platform, her body had begun flooding her system with chemicals that increased her strength, speed, and pain tolerance. Her heart rate had spiked to levels that would kill most species. Her muscle fibers were tearing and repairing in real time, each micro-tear making her stronger. She wasn't just fighting. Her body was weaponizing itself at the cellular level. Zarkoth staggered backward, his breath exploding from his lungs. Before he could recover, Mia pressed her advantage. She moved inside his reach, where his size became a liability, and delivered a series of strikes to nerve clusters she had memorized from Crithian anatomy files. Each blow was precise, calculated, and devastating. The commander swung wildly, trying to catch this impossible human, but Mia flowed around his attacks like water. Her species had evolved as pursuit predators, capable of tracking prey for days across hostile terrain. She could read his movements before he made them. Her pattern recognition capabilities, honed by millions of years of hunting, making his attacks telegraphed and obvious. Then came the moment that would be replayed across 1,000 worlds. Zarkoth, desperate and humiliated, charged forward with all his strength, attempting to crush Mia against the platform's barrier. Mia planted her feet, and as the massive alien closed the distance, she pivoted and delivered a single perfect punch to his jaw. The crack echoed through the chamber like a gunshot. Zarkoth's head snapped back. His eyes rolled. And then, impossibly, the mighty Crithian commander collapsed to the platform unconscious. Silence blanketed the council chamber. Max stood in the observation pod, his arms crossed, unable to suppress his grin. And that, he muttered to himself, is why you don't call a human weak. Mia stood over the fallen commander, breathing hard but still standing. She looked up at the assembled council, her voice steady despite her exertion. Humans may not have claws or scales or armor, but we have something else. We have endurance. We have adaptability. We have the willingness to stand up and fight no matter the odds. We evolved on a planet that tried to kill us every single day, and we didn't just survive, we thrived. We reached for the stars not because it was easy, but because it was hard. That, honored council members, is what humanity brings to this alliance. The Arbiter's voice resonated through the chamber. The challenge is concluded. Victory, human representative Mia. As medical teams rushed to attend to Zarkoth, representatives from dozens of species began viewing humans with new eyes. These weren't weak creatures to be dismissed. They were survivors from a death world, carrying within their fragile-looking bodies the accumulated strength of 1 billion years of evolution. Later, in their quarters, Max handed Mia an ice pack for her bruised knuckles. You know that's going to change everything, right? Every species in the council is going to reassess humanity's position. Mia winced as she pressed the ice to her hand. Good. Maybe now they'll listen when we talk about military cooperation. Earth needs allies, and the galaxy needs to understand that we're not helpless. Zarkoth called you weak, Max observed with a smirk. Mia's lips curved into a slight smile. I corrected his definition, and across the galaxy, as word spread of the human who had defeated a Crithian commander in single combat, civilizations began to whisper a new phrase. Humanity, fucking yeah.